Live. Hello, and welcome to episode 2 of Yoga Chocolate and Chitchat with Melanie and Janet. I'm Janet, Pro Yoga and Fitness Studio owner and instructor.
Hi, I'm Melanie Flager. I'm one of the instructors here at Pearl.
She does a lot more than instruct in yoga, but that'll be a whole nother episode. All that Melanie does. That's what does Melanie do at Pearl? That'll be one of our episodes. So last week we did for our launch. We piloted with the question of what did we do, Mel? I knew.
I really
It'll
don't.
come back. Oh, this isn't good. All right. So, but this week we know what we're doing, and it's why is everybody looking at me? So, why is everybody looking at me? Because when we're in yoga class, in a group fitness class, I find that a lot of people hesitate to come to group fitness classes because of the fear, the self-consciousness of, is everybody looking at me? So we're here to tell you that, one, you're right. Everyone, no, I'm just kidding. Nobody's looking at you. No. Everybody that comes to yoga for the first time, we forget because we've been doing it for so long. We forget what it's like to come to yoga for the first time.
Yes,
and not know any of the moves or anything like that. And typically what you do is you'll sit in the back of the class. You'll slither away into a corner and hope that nobody's really looking at you while you figure stuff out.
Absolutely.
So the truth is that most people are not looking at you. The people that get looked at the most are the ones who know what they're doing.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
I think so too. I think when you come in and you think everyone in the room is going to be looking at, they're all doing down dog so beautifully, and I'm over here doing I don't know what, right? You think everyone's looking at you, but really the person you tend to, and I'm a student here too, the person you tend to, if you even pay attention, is the person that might be nailing that pose, and you're like, wow.
That's what I'm supposed to look like? That's what I'm supposed
or you
to
do that little, you could say a couple of things. You could look at them and go, wow, that's awesome. Or you could look at them sometime and go, oh, hell no, I'm never going to be able to do that, right? So, but I think that's what you do in the beginning. And then as you evolve in your practice, you don't even pay attention to anybody anymore. And I could tell you as a student, people fall or they lose their balance or they might giggle. And after class, like we might say, oh, did you see she fell, but she was okay? And I'm like, I didn't see it because I'm really not paying attention to anybody else. I really am not.
It's true story. Clients are generally not paying attention to anybody but themselves unless they're new. The new person is more likely to look at everybody else to see what they're supposed to be doing.
Right.
So they're looking for a model of behavior. If the instructor's not doing it, or the instructor's just cueing, and it has this expectation that people have been in class for a while, so that they're going to understand. This is assuming you're not in a beginner class, right? Beginner classes are completely different. Forget what we just said about that.
Yes.
But in the beginning, you're probably going to be looking around at other people more than they're going to be looking around at you, because once you have everything down, you're there to go inside, to go into your own self.
Yeah.
And Melanie's right. We always, as instructors, try to set the tone that you're on your mat, be on your mat. Part of yoga is noticing our behaviors and bringing awareness to our tendencies so that we can discern whether or not we want to continue with those, or maybe how do we handle things. So there's a good chance that if you start opining on other people's practice, which is not, it's frowned upon. I mean, I'm just going to keep it real. It's not really something that is encouraged in yoga, it's not really an active, interactive with other client type
Right.
modality, then it's the yoga of it is the awareness of the fact that I feel the impulse to comment and opine on other people. That's really what it is. It's if you see someone doing something that you can't do, or that they've been practicing for a really long time and it's fascinating, do you hold that in? Are you able to keep that to yourself? What feelings does it kick up for you? Does it kick up jealousy, resentment? I mean,
Yeah.
and nothing is wrong. There's no wrong
Right.
way to feel their feelings. And then yoga is about bringing awareness to it. So we, as instructors, would encourage people to stay on your mat, both physically, mentally, and spiritually, that if you observe somebody else who's maybe having an easier time or a more difficult time,
Yes.
you mind your business.
Yeah. Well, I think you evolve, because, like I said, in the beginning, when I started practicing, I looked at other people, and sometimes I would be in awe of what they could do. I looked at them as, wow, if I keep going, I'm going to be able to do that. And then as I started to get a little bit stronger and more confident in my practice, I have had other clients who made a comment to me, wow, look at you, or what. And it made me feel really uncomfortable that I was in my own practice and I was doing my own thing, staying on my own mat, and other people were making a comment. Listen, it's okay. Like, if somebody nails a pose and they've been working on it for the past 3 months, and all of a sudden you look over and that person nailed that, you know what? It's okay to turn over to them and go like, that was awesome. That was awesome.
Right, a little thumbs
Like a
up.
little thumbs up, or that was
Sure.
awesome. Or after class, say to them, you know what? You nailed that. That was beautiful. But I think when you call attention to it, it makes that person who's doing the pose feel a little like, oh my gosh, is the whole class looking at me now? I think
For
that
sure.
happens sometimes. And it makes the person who can't achieve that pose for whatever reason, either they're not physically there yet or they just choose not to that day, it makes them feel like, oh, am I inadequate? Am I not good enough today? So I guess that's where it's like a fine line of, you want to make sure everyone feels comfortable by not calling attention to what they can or cannot do, and in the yoga studio.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's two sides. Why is everyone looking at me? One, they're probably not.
Yes.
But two, the person most likely, I believe, to be observed is the person who is capable of performing whatever posture, practicing whatever posture
Yes.
is, or movement. And I agree. In awe, to inspire,
Yes.
minimal type of interaction,
Mm-hmm.
but not wanting to, what we attempt to discourage is making that person feel bad that they're able to do that, even if nobody else in the room is right. So it's so funny because the people that maybe struggle the most feel that maybe they're being observed the most, and no, not really. No, I mean, if anything, people are the instructor. So there's a couple things. One, in my classes at least, and I know for yours too, it's really important that the instructor is the interactor.
Yes.
Right. So client to client interaction. Not everybody wants to talk and make friends in yoga. Some people just want to come and practice and then they leave. So if they're showing up right on time, practicing and leaving, that's okay.
Yes.
They're allowed to do that. They don't necessarily need to or want to develop long-standing friendships,
right,
and go out on the weekends, right? So
they might not have came for chit chat. They might have just come
Right.
They want to do their practice.
And they probably, I'm going to be honest, I'm that type of client. I do like talking to people, but when I'm practicing, I don't interact with anybody. I don't. I like to just, if I do, it's the instructor.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, I keep it minimal or not at all, depending on if I'm in my own studio, it's very difficult because it's usually Shauna or Melanie teaching. But if it's not, if I'm in another place, I zip my lips and I'm on my mat. It's like, that's why I come here. And that's why everybody comes here. So I would say there's a couple things. One, if the thought of people looking at you is a hindrance to coming to yoga, that's where a lot of people come to private sessions.
Yes.
That's where a lot of people come for one-on-one instruction in the beginning, just to learn the basics, the fundamentals.
They want to see what their body's capable of. They start to build a little confidence when they know in their head, they think no one's looking at me. So now I can build that little confidence up. And then maybe migrate into a class because now I have a little bit of a foundation.
For sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Truth, I think most people go into private sessions, they don't migrate into the group classes.
Yeah.
Some people are just, this is what they want.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want the added noise or element of the group.
Right.
So they don't transfer over into the group classes because they're very happy there. Right? I mean, I know, most of our
clients don't. I have clients that have tried the group session and felt intimidated.
Right.
And then now they're a private client. Yes.
Right. That's more likely to happen than somebody who's private going to group. But if you want the element of the group, I love the element of the group. Love it. That I always wanted to be in the group. It's just, I love being around people. I put more effort in when I'm around people. I feed off of the energy around me, and that's how I am driven. So that being said, there are ways to come into the class and even observe. We encourage people to observe. If you don't want to do something, you could just look. You could just look around. You could sit down on your mat. You can come into child's pose. You don't have to do everything that you're being instructed to do at any point in time. You do not have to do anything that you're being instructed to do.
And I will tell you that if you sit and you don't want to do something and you're doing your own little, because I do it. I've done it. There's days when I just can't. My body's saying it's not going to happen today. I'm doing something else. I can truthfully tell you, if you were doing something else in the room, I would never even notice you because I'm not paying attention to you. But we think in our heads, a newer client thinks in their head, everyone's staring at me. I'm the only one that's not doing something. No, nobody is caring that you're not doing something.
Just to clarify, as the student, you wouldn't notice. Right. But as the instructor, she would.
I would, yes.
I know this about her. I'm just making that clarification. Yes. As the instructor, she would notice, but she wouldn't say anything to you. She would let you sit there.
Absolutely.
And do whatever you had to do. Feel comfortable doing.
Do whatever.
As long as you're not crawling on other people's mats, and chit-chatting or whatever.
Yes. And I would look, we would look as instructors around the room and be like, okay, she's chilling out for a few minutes, or okay.
I think you had that compliment recently with a student who was new to class and said to you that they were grateful that you didn't come over and make a big
because they were watching, observing. It got a little overwhelming, and she just felt the need to just sit in easy seat and watch. And I saw her over there, but I was like, all right, she needs a minute. And after class, she said, thank you for not mentioning or coming over to me or bothering me. I appreciated the fact you just let me get over my little bit of whatever she needed to get over. We've all been there. All been there.
And I believe as instructors here, all instructors here, they're not going to rush over and is everything okay? Because there really isn't an expectation
Mm-mm.
that everybody that comes in here is going to be able to flow with the class or hit every posture the first time they come in, especially if they're new to yoga. There's zero expectation that on any given day modifications are provided, and if something is just way, like you said, overwhelming, then sitting, I think it was Raquel who says Wachasana. Raquel Vamos from Dharma Yoga Wheel. So Wachasana, we've adopted that. You want to do Wachasana? This is your time.
Right.
This is your time.
Yeah.
You're taking the time out here. Who are you performing for? You're not performing for us. You're not performing for the clients because they're taking their time out too. So this is yours. This is your time to make of it what you need to make of it.
Yeah.
Shavasana for 60 minutes or not, you decide.
Yeah.
So yeah. We hope you enjoy this episode. We are always soliciting and looking for new topics.
Yes.
And so if you think of something, if you have a question or any type of issue you would just love to hear us muse over in an impromptu manner, then please drop it into the comments, email to us. There's 9 million channels that we are available through Instagram. I mean, you pick one, our website.
Yes.
So we hope you've enjoyed this, and we so look forward to doing the next one.
Yes. Have a great day.
Namaste.
Namaste.